The rhythm of the swing never changes. Is it long enough? They're beginning to applaud, and quite rightly so. That is a simply magnificent shot from Colin Montgomery.
Rory's the winner. Not a million miles away, is it?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Talk of Scotland podcast. And today in the studio I have Peter.
Good morning.
And Andy.
Good morning.
How are you doing, guys?
Good.
Divine.
Oh, not that good, but good.
Yeah, quite good. You're very relaxed this morning, Peter, wearing your round neck t-shirt. I mean, this is a golf range.
Yeah. Family just got back from their holidays. I keep telling them it was a holiday, and they went down just to see their granny. But if I keep playing on that, how was your holiday? Then I might manage to dodge that bullet. But
You've already been on holiday.
So I'm taking the morning off to say hello to them.
All right.
Yeah, they've had a holiday this year. I think that's it done, isn't it? Yeah. I think I managed.
Did I say hello to them last night? No.
Well, I did.
You need to expect more hellos.
More hellos. But yes, they're all back now. So yeah, all good.
Okay, good. Well, we missed the Scottish Open actually. Who do you win that? Mr. Kim. Thomas Kim.
I thought there was going to be a Kim and then another Kim win because not Sibu. Sibu. He was almost a Kim in the Scottish and then a Kim in the Open. Mm-hmm. 2 Kims in a row.
Yeah, Kim. Was it Sibu Kim?
No,
Minji.
Yes. No, it was Sibu. Sibu was leading. It was leading at one point.
All right, okay.
Anyway, the Scottish Open looked okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, that was last week anyway. So
yeah,
we're on to this week. We never studied up it last week. I can't remember anything what happened last week. Do you remember anything about it? I had to look up this morning actually to remember who won. You know, I couldn't even tell you who'd won if you'd asked me this morning at 7:00.
Well, Scotty Scheffler missed the cut in the Scottish.
Yes, I remember.
And that brought his run of making cuts, which everyone was going on about, which I completely shot down in flames because I'm like, there's no cuts anymore. That can't count. You know, they're going on about. I don't remember the number. It was something like, I don't know, call it 325 cuts in a row. I don't know.
78.
Was it 78? Well, and then they rate it to Tiger, and I'm like, but Tiger had cuts in his tournaments. Not them all, but
exactly.
Scotty's got less. I just think cuts now, obviously with the PGA, they're starting to come back in the rules and they change the format, so it might count a bit more in the future. But
I'm sure Tiger's is 144, I think.
Yeah,
but all the World Championship events in his day was
I know.
But yeah, it doesn't mean anything anymore. And how many tournaments is Sheffield playing in a year with a cut now?
Exactly.
10 maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Probably more than that, but yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Well, tell me, we'll do the usual. I mean, I know it's the Open Championship week, but obviously people are more interested to know what you've been up to. Because they've already watched the Open. We're just going to go over it again.
Well, I'll get my dribble out of the way because there's not been too much. But like with the family being away, I managed to go out for I think 3-ish rounds of golf, and all at Ladybank. Of course, it was awesome, and look, it was fine. My game's been all right. I managed to beat Andy one day.
Is there anything you've been up to that doesn't involve golf? Just so we can skip this part.
Golfing podcast. And then actually, my last round was a wee bit of a struggle, but I'm quite happy because I've not had like a bad day. I mean, last round was a bit of a struggle, but I'm waiting for it to be, oh my god, and it's just not happened yet. And this has been like a good few months, but it's not been, I'm giving up golf and I need to go to the range now because I've hardly hit a ball. So it's quite, like, it sounds negative that, but I take it as a positive.
I give you
an embarrassing day yet.
I give you permission to talk about our game. I know you signed an NDA, but you can talk about it if you want, okay?
No,
I got pumped.
How much though?
Almost the worst that you could get.
Right.
In my defence, I will start off with my defence. I was struggling, and I was struggling before we went to play. And I said to Pete, look, I'm struggling. I can't stress enough how much I'm struggling here. But we'll play anyway. And to be fair, it quite quickly didn't really turn into a match, did it? Because it was kind of like, look, Andy, just
you settle
it's
down.
not as bad as you think it is. But it is as bad. But I was quite chuffed that Pete was there to watch one of my shots that I've talked about for many a year, and I still don't think that would even be in my top 10. But it was bad. So I got beat. The short version is I got beat 9 and 8.
9 and 7. Give yourself.
Well, 9 and 7. Sorry.
9 and 7.
Yeah, a couple of.
But I
couple
did
of
keep
half.
hitting driver because I was like, I really want to kind of find out what's happening. So I hit it a few more times than I probably would have if my life depended on it. But it was bad.
No, it definitely was.
You're solid. And Pete just can't take a compliment. It's like, what were you 7 under?
I think I was about 7 or 8 under.
We came off after 14 because it was just so slow, and I wanted to kill myself. So we came off after 14, and he was 7 or 8 under. So he played well, and I like, it's good golf. Yeah. 7 or 8 under. Yeah. It's just mental. It's a different level of golf, and you didn't do anything like outrageous. You didn't even hold a long putt or anything.
The game at the moment seems relatively simple, but didn't hit brilliant shots, but it just hit into the right places.
Can I ask the obvious question, right? Because it's so boring. I mean,
I hit it further.
No.
Oh, sorry, and you go.
Why isn't Peter playing in competitions?
Oh, just because, leading up to that, I wasn't able to play golf for two weeks, almost 3 weeks, just because my hip was sore. I don't know, I kind of keep thinking I want to, and then the niggle comes in, and I just think, what's the point? But yeah, next year,
You're racing towards, what are you, 50? 46.
Wow,
you're 46.
Whoa, 45.
No, I'm 47.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 46.
No, 45. I know my age.
All right. Because it's the third.
Next month.
The 3rd of August, everybody.
Yeah, send your presents in.
Yeah, so 3rd of August, you'll be 46. So you've got 4 years till you're 50. If you see your golf as a thing. But you need to start playing now.
If I was to play, I need to get fitter and do all these things and make sure these niggling injuries. It's just the injuries that come in. Because I barely hit a ball because I'm scared of getting sore and creaked necks and sore backs. So I don't really hit balls and then go out and play, and it's all fine.
How many under do you think it would have been if you had been hitting balls? Like it was
Probably less.
8 under through 14. I mean, what's the
Well, those. I mean, the last 3 rounds you were saying has kind of been a bit okay. Were you under par for all the rounds?
Yeah. But
exactly, I'll caddy for you.
No, I was, but it was. Look, I'm enjoying my golf. It's because I'm going in waiting for it to be the bad day, and it's not the bad day yet. It's quite nice. It's what I always say to people: you should go in expecting the B game or whatever game. You know, when I talk about these things. Anyway, I might try and get.
He does.
I could easily rock up and have a bad day tomorrow, but or a bad stretch. Yeah, a bad stretch. Look, I'm quite happy at the moment. Maybe I was looking at the Tartan tour, because they're always emailing me saying, "Oh, there's late entries available." When I say me, I mean everybody. So I might, yeah. But then it takes time off work, and you got to put bread on the table.
If you shoot 8 under, 5 under, 3 under, you'll pay for the money time off work.
Yeah, but it's not like that, and I don't want to be one of these. Well, I am going to be one of these guys that talks about it like this. Like, I think the Tartan Tour is a phenomenal tour, but this sounds unbelievably negative. But I look at it in terms of, right, it's 3 days, then I'm going to have a practice round, so it's 4 days. It's 4 days off work, and then to recoup what you would miss out on, you got to be finishing top 3. Start to look at it as a money thing, and that's the last thing any pro golfer should do, because I've always seen golf as stepping stones. When I was on Europro, it was a case to get to Challenge Tour. Challenge Tour was a case to get to Main Tour. Whereas now I'm looking at it as money. It's not fun. Well, it would be fun, but I'm competitive and I want to earn money. Like everyone goes on about this. Oh, it's just the pride of doing well. Nah, it's about the money.
You must have a lot of money saved up from our games, though.
So enough of it is top 3 in these games, and these guys are proper golfers, and they're shooting 50, whatever.
Of course they are, and there's a difference obviously to shooting 6, 7 under par on a bounce game.
Correct.
With Andy.
Correct.
And you're laughing at him most of the way around for being so crap. To shooting, to playing a competitive.
100%.
So yeah.
You must be intrigued, though, are you, to see what you've got left in the competitive side?
Yeah. I might find some scars in there. some mental weakness.
Well, you're not going to find out unless you do it. I mean, I went and did it this year, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
You're living your life through your kids now, though, are you not?
Yeah, well, actually, if you could, we would just come on
let's
to
go
me.
to you.
Yeah,
So
let's avoid me.
I've been on holiday for like a week and a half. I felt like I was away for like months. That's what I felt. I was deliberately trying to ignore, ridiculous WhatsApp group messages from work. Oh, like, has anybody seen the pencil? I'm sure, that kind of stuff.
There's only one pencil, Stuart. What do you want us to do?
Anybody seen the pencil? I'm sure it was here. Reese, did you lose that pencil again? I was like, oh God, I'm on a holiday. Desperately want to go late. I think it might be in the drawer, guys. But WhatsApp groups are horrific, aren't they?
Oh, it's awful.
I hate WhatsApp. Anyway, but I was on holiday, but I went up to Tain. So my children, but they're making up the field, I would say at the moment. But there's the Scottish Junior Tour, or the Junior Tour Scotland, it's called, and it was in Tain. I thought, well, that nobody will be playing in Tain. It's miles away. Who's going to Tain? So the kids will get in, and we'll go and have a few days with the Doug while they're playing golf. And that's what we did, and it was brilliant. Junior Tour Scotland is they're all kind of 54-hole events. Tain Golf Club was really nice, well set up, feels like a proper event. There's a tent on the first tee, there's banners everywhere. Brilliant, great for kids, and it's a full field actually. But both my kids played, and yeah, really good. 36.
Was it quite nostalgic
Nostalgic
for yourself?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
I never played in the Junior Tour Scotland. Didn't exist. But
Was
yeah,
there lots of parents walking around?
Yeah, there was lots of parents. Parents did walk round. Not every parent. Certainly, I didn't. I went out maybe 3 or 4 holes on one round and 3 or 4 holes the next round.
Did you pick your favourite child?
Yeah, and my kids were there as well. But no, it was just I was impressed with the whole thing. I thought I said it before. I think these events didn't exist when we were young. And for the young kids to play multiple round stroke play events is great. Is really.
Yeah.
And I think given time, this is going to help produce a lot of really good golfers. Actually,
I think so as well. I think in the past we always look back and say, oh, our day was better, this, that, and the other. But one day events, wasn't it? You just rocked up all the way up to where it was, Timbuktu, and you played a one day event, and you came back, didn't you? Yeah. I think these things are good for.
It's better now. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't have said that a year ago because I wasn't knowledgeable enough, but it's better now. That's Scottish golf has nothing to do with it. It's a guy. Oh God, I forgot his name. Anyway, organising it off his own back, but it does a great job. Gets sponsors and stuff, and so yeah, there's maybe 10 or 12 events around Scotland in a year. Got boys and girls, and it's great. And what a great way to get better at golf. And it's no wonder when kids come out. When we came out of junior golf or. Was maybe one junior golf stroke play event, which is the Scottish Boys Stroke Play, which was 72 holes. That was it. And then you played in the men's ones, but now the kids are playing these kids events, winning, and then playing multiple round events, understanding the difference between a multiple round event and a one round event. If you have a bad round, it's going with you the rest of the tournament, which I think is a great thing to learn. You learn how to pace yourself and
prepare. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, brilliant. Really enjoyed. Tain was great, and then I got home, and then Rebecca's playing the Scottish Girls Championship. So the day I got home, I had to go to Pollock for a practice round.
Taxi driver.
I was taxi driver. Decided to drive to Pollock every day. Went over, played the practice round, drove back. So it was an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. Because I was unwilling to go and stay in a B&B with my daughter. Because in my day, B&Bs were £10, £15 for bed and breakfast. Costs a fortune now.
Yeah.
You don't get the breakfast for that.
Exactly.
No.
The breakfast of fortunes.
It's a joke. So no, I said no, we're driving. The second day it was 36 holes, and she was teeing off at 9:30. So that was an early start. That was like leaving the house at 7. Yeah, 7. We got there an hour early, and she played 36 holes, and then it's into the match play, and she played even earlier. The next day she got through to the match play. But yeah, and then we're back there the next day. But the last day I was leaving at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
that was so it was really good driving.
Did well though, didn't you?
Rebecca, well, the way the Scottish Girls works is the top 16 girls qualify for the match play, and then they play. That's the gross, and then the best of the rest, which Rebecca would be the rest. But then it becomes net, which
that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that's a? So when you first said she's in the sort of B flight, if you like, or the bowl, I thought that had just been like top 16 and then 16 to 32 going to their own match play, but I didn't realise it would then be handicap match play.
Yeah, which
I'm
we talked about that last week. I don't agree with it really.
But do you think it keeps the entries in? Because there'll be some kids there that will just be never going to qualify stroke play wise, but if I can place my handicap, I might qualify for the bowl.
Yeah, maybe it's inclusive again.
Because you've already got your A flight for the top contenders. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was only an entry of something like 50, which for the whole of Scotland isn't great. So I could hear you drink that.
Go. Jesus.
Nice coffee.
I've never heard a gulping coffee like that. So, I don't know. I just think your match play is kind of like... Even Rebecca was a bit deflated by finding out it was match play. Because it feels like you haven't really qualified then. I don't know. It feels a little bit less when it's net. Yeah, then gross. That's it.
I think it's like we spoke about last time though. For some people that will never be able to get to that first level, you know, again, it's sort of a bit like that big fish, small pond kind of thing. But Rebecca's obviously got her sights on the next level, you know, which is great for her.
Yeah.
So I think again, it's that different mentality, isn't it? That she is kind of disappointed that she's in that section because she wants to be in that one. That's great for her. Some people are probably never going to get to that, but I don't mind that. But for me, it's just not the main one.
And that's what it was.
Got that gross
to be honest, it was never mentioned. It never really mentioned by Scottish Golf. It was all the gross one.
That's good then. That's good.
Scottish junior girls is really strong. I was looking at it. Carly McDonald that won it from St Andrews. They're so young, the girls. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
You see them, they're really good. 12 under over 2 rounds at Pollock won the stroke play. But Carly McDonald won the match play. She's 15. There's a girl, Stella Waters, who I think is 13 years old. Yeah. She just had the course record at Alyth a few weeks ago, 64. Incredible, but she was beaten in the semis, I think. Her brother won the Scottish boys this week. Who, Peter, you've met, haven't you? Fraser Walters.
Yeah.
You've had a lesson with him. And there's Abigail May from St Andrews. Carla Burns got to the final again. She's 14. Crazy. The girls are so young.
They are young.
They're so
very young. I'm teaching one of the girls that's in the. What was up there? She's 13, but the girls are more mature at 13, aren't they?
Oh, there's a difference.
And they're hitting it closer to. You know, sometimes you're teaching a young 13-year-old guy, and you're just like. Yeah, look, you're going to grow. You're going to sprout soon. You're going to get stronger. Don't worry about that. And the girls are like kind of ready to just score. You know, ready to sort of start really ironing in their golf swings and all this. Yeah, they're just more mature, I think.
The one thing I noticed there this week was there was no shouting and swearing. Oh, there was no banging clubs. There was no bad behaviour. This is not what it's like at a boys' event. There was one girl, she had it down, Rebecca played with in the stroke play rounds, and she had hooked it into the bushes, and the bushes lined the left-hand side of the fairway, and that's out of bounds, there's out of bounds stakes. And I went over, I thought, I wonder if I should actually help her find this. You know, like, because a boy is just like wanting to stick the fingers up at you if you even look at him in this situation. Do you know what I mean? I went over and I says, like, your ball's in there, it's out. And she just sort of laughed. She was like, oh, it's all right. I think I'm just going to leave it. And I just thought, oh, that's cool. That's nice. A boy wouldn't have even responded to me, would he?
Grunt.
It was really hard to speak to a referee when they're showing you where your ball is lost or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it was so yes, that was that. It was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I watched every single round Rebecca played, and it was just great. I enjoy it, and I'm not one of these parents that follow every round, but I did that at the Scottish because I'm just an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So what else am I going to do? But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I think my next career I'm a spectator of golf. So Peter, you get on the seniors tour. I'll come watch you.
And I'll caddy.
Team.
Yeah. Anyway, the big event obviously of this week is the Open.
Yep.
Which was at Royal Birkdale, which looked fantastic, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I heard a lot of people moan about how it looked. I think just because it was burnt out, they didn't like the look of it. I don't know if it's because they're used to seeing the lush green grass, but I like that burnt out look to links golf. I like it. So I thought it looked great.
I kind of half thought. Look, I'm sure if you played the golf course and if you're there, phenomenal track, this, that, and the other. Just watching it, I get that. I get that from the viewing point of view. Plus, a lot of tee shots from the camera looked similar. A couple of bunkers down the right, a couple of bunkers down the left, 2 iron off the tee. Just looked very samey. There was a couple of things. I didn't like the 5th hole. I thought it was lovely having a drivable hole. But is that pond there? Is that natural? It's probably natural, right? The one to the right of the green. Just doesn't seem very linksy having a pond, but I thought the course was it looked like it played better than it maybe looked, but it was definitely like a blast from the past seeing everything that burnt out.
Yeah. Do you think it was? I mean, it's not up to the organisers; they can't control the weather.
No.
Was it just a little bit more burnt out? I don't mean the fairways and I love the look of it, and there's nothing better than hitting off a burnt out turf, is there? I mean, it's the best turf to hit off, but in the rough sometimes there's a lot of time that didn't.
Well, it was so weak. It was so dried out the grass that and they weren't really. I didn't really feel like they were getting that many flyers. Like that sort of grass. You're like, this club could twizzle, go left. It could get a flyer. It could be 40 over the green. Never really saw much of that. It was obviously so burnt. There's nothing organisers can do, but yeah, you kind of.
But then you're out of position. And,
well, it is, but it's hard to hold the position with the greens like that. So it was probably fair.
But there was, there was that thing where there was 3 62s this week.
Yeah.
So you think, this, and I've heard things of the scoring is too easy. There's 3 62s, but the leader only finished 10 under par.
Exactly.
So I think it was actually really good.
One of the 62s was by far the best of the day as well. It wasn't like there was lots of them. I know
what Herbert's.
Yeah, I can't remember what one it was, but I looked at the rest of the score, and it wasn't like they were all completely. Burning it up. So sometimes you just get a guy who has a freakish. I know 3 of them over the course of the week isn't something they particularly want to see, but they're bloody good.
Best players in the world. Yeah. Thought the course was good.
Okay. Where do you want to go? Leader on the first round was Jackson Suber. I started to worry about Jackson Suber. He was worrying me.
I'm exactly the same as you. As soon as you see that, you're like, oh no, have a nightmare. Have a nightmare. Don't run away with this. You're the last person that I want to see run away with this. You're not good enough to run away with this. This is exactly where my head goes. You do, and then I'm looking at the next good one. So when I was going into, I think it was like Saturday, whatever it was, and I look at Rory and I'm like, can he win this? So I'm like, right, he's 8 ahead, but he's crap. He's 6 ahead, but he's crap. He'll not win it. So really, he's probably only 4 behind someone that I think is going to win. I'd completely write off the guys that don't have big names. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but then when they keep hanging round, you start to really get nervous. It's like, oh God, he's still there after 2 rounds, and he's still hanging about after 3. Yeah. But
There's nothing worse than one guy just runs away with it. It's rubbish.
I was sad to see Bob after a good start. 3 under after the first round. I kind of thought this could be a really good week for Bob. Never really got it going after that.
Yeah, look at the Scottish the week before. He had a good week. Yeah. Of course, he's comfortable around, obviously, in his home environment because he's come off an iffy spell, we'll call it. I think it's something off the course. He wasn't too happy with stuff. But he played all right. He was up there the first couple of days, I suppose, and then just kind of drifted away. He had a not a penalty, but he had a warning for.
What did you think of that? What did you think of his response to that?
What was this? I missed this.
He had a warning for you can get a 2-shot penalty. Yes, code of conduct. So he was obviously thrashing or swearing or doing something. And his reply was, "Look, that's just who I am. I'm not going to apologise for it. It's going to happen again. And if I get 2-shot penalty, I get 2-shot penalty. It's just I'm not going to change who I am." Basically, in so many words, and part of me actually really likes that. In fact, most of me, pretty much all of me, really likes that because it's not like he was using. Well, I didn't actually see when he got. If you're using horrendous profanities or saying horrendous words, then yeah, okay. But if it's just a little bit of a Tyrrell Hatton moment, then I don't you know, I don't have a problem with that.
But okay, and I want them to be themselves.
Yeah.
But if they're standing around a tee and there's a bunch of kids looking at their hero, and he's like effing and blinding.
It's a sport, though, Stuart. You see Argentina at the end of the World Cup. Okay, no, that wasn't a good example, but
That's probably the worst example you could use, but
because nobody liked what they did. But no, it's
But we're not football as well. You know, this is golf. We've got to hold ourselves to higher standard, higher regard. We've talked about this at the Ryder Cup, and I do think there's a bit of that in it. You want your players to be classy, but at the same time, I want them to be themselves, and I want to see the guys have highs and lows. But just quit this swearing. Too much swearing.
it's too much, man. It's the same as the tennis, isn't it? If someone has the odd thing, they leave it, but when it gets silly, it's not like, come on. You've got a crowd right next to you. It's a bit over the top. I think golf should be the same.
Well, look, I think the rules committees have got on top of this, and they're
It's great we're talking about it.
it's great. Yeah, it's great they've got on top of it, and they're saying like the second time it happens, you're getting a shot penalty. And Bob's saying, yeah, no, I'll take a 2-shot penalty. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to change who I am. When you get a 2-shot penalty in a major, it's going to change who you are because it's going to put you from contention down. So I don't care what he says. He will change or manage to rein it in if it's costing him a tournament at some point, which it will if he carries on. You know, or if somebody, I don't want to pick on Bob, if somebody carries on, it's going to cost them a tournament at the end of the day. Like the guy in the
Joachim Neiman.
I mean, he finished top. Don't know, but he got 2-shot penalty, and he was still in contention, wasn't he?
I always wonder.
So it does count. If you do a fine, doesn't matter. These boys don't care about fines.
No, I think they're trying. I always think that I wonder if they would give a penalty to a leader. Imagine if
They pick their moments.
Cully did the 17th row. He's leading, and he has a moment. Do you think the RNA are going to actually do that?
I wouldn't like to be the
100%.
person that goes to tell him.
100% they will. I think they're getting a lot better at that. I know it used to be in the olden days.
In the lead,
we'll not. We'll just leave Monty because he might get a bit grumpy, and we'll just penalise like me, one of the little Joes at the end of the field. Nowadays it's the opposite. Nowadays, like Bryson, we'll talk about that in a wee minute. He's on the camera, so he's the one who got found out there. The Joes aren't on camera, so there's. You have to be. You got to remember who's on TV, and if you want to hold up the game, then yeah, I think the refs are strong enough now, where they will. It doesn't matter who it is.
Hopefully, I just think that yeah. But then they'll be like, but this is high pressure situations, so emotions are higher. We've got to maybe be a bit more lenient. Whereas Peter at the back of the field is just grumpy. He just wants to go home. You know, like I don't know. There's got to be that in a decision. I don't know. It's tough.
I don't think there should be though, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's you could have someone at the bottom of the field that financially means more to them. They've got more stress than a guy that's towards the top of the leaderboard. It needs to be the same rule for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, okay. So where are we? I feel like it's difficult. We're on Saturday. We're on Saturday now. We're going to talk about Bryson.
Yeah, let's just go straight to the elephant in the room.
Okay, so Bryson on the 5th hole, in the 3rd round, as everybody in the world knows, hits his drive into the Germanji.
The fescue. I was hearing that a lot this week.
Yeah.
It's a real American word, is it?
I didn't even know what it was.
Long grass.
Fescue.
It's long grass.
I had my friend Fat Doug text me straight after it happened. He's like, "Oh, what do you think about that then, Bryson's thing?" And I was like, "Whatever." It was you might get penalised. I didn't see it. And then he quickly just some other camera angle, and then he sent me that on the phone. And I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, total, absolute, should get penalised this time. So, depends what camera angle you saw, but obviously we've all seen them now. But the original one, where I just saw him 2 seconds before he hit, wasn't that bad, but it was the bit before that.
It was the before that. But even that one, I mean, to be honest,
He just looked like a big oaf getting into it, the last one.
I didn't think that any of the camera angles looked particularly good. I mean, even the one that you're mentioning that we saw first off, his ball's right there. I mean, and it's the way he hits the grass with his big, massive clown foot.
Yeah.
You know, he's going for it, isn't he? he's proper pushing it down.
Yeah, he didn't trip.
It's very unnatural.
Look, there's absolutely no defending him. I don't care what anyone says, and it really annoys me that a lot of the players, apparently, were in defence of him. I don't know which ones. I didn't hear because I'm not a social media guy.
the ones I saw, like Shoffley and stuff, they just don't. It's not so much that we're defending them; they were just not saying anything. They were just sort of going, "Yeah, well, it's." I just didn't think they were all saying he's not a cheat, which he may well not be. He's probably not.
Yeah, I don't like to use that word. I mean, that word is an awful word in golf. It's like the worst word in golf, really, isn't it? And a cheat is premeditated. I keep saying it. It's premeditated. This, that, and the other. He needs to be penalised, and he got penalised. Though I think if it was another player, if it was Preed, we'd all be at him, right? It's just there's no defending it, and there was a couple of things I really didn't like. So in the morning after, I was watching Howler getting interviewed, and the start of and they showed Bryson's social media of him hovering above the grass, and Howler's David Howell, sorry, his face was just like tripping at the side, just giving it. You just don't do this. This is just like feeding the fire. And he was right. I just thought that wasn't a time for a social media funny. It was.
But he's then done it on the golf course as well, because he's gone into the grass the next day with a pretend strimming the grass. He's playing on it. He's like he's laughing at it, and he should be embarrassed of it. I find.
But he's that kind of awkward guy at the party, isn't he? Bit of a geek. Oh, thinks he's funny, but he'll be that type of guy, right? But he's always been that little kind of geeky guy. It's just because he's built, we don't think of him as the geeky guy. But he's that type of guy, and that's why people love him. But I was surprised how well the crowd took to him on this Saturday morning.
I was really pleased they did, though, on the Sunday morning.
Sunday,
because I was thinking
Saturday, wasn't it?
He's gonna.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
No, this was Saturday. He did this.
Okay,
so it's
Sunday morning. Yeah.
But the crowds. I mean, they were polite with him, and I thought that's great. I'm glad we did that, because we are meant to have better crowds.
Definitely.
If we had turned up and booed him and he got the hells, we can't then say, "Oh, but the New York crowds were terrible." At least we rise, because I did think if that had been in America the other way around, that player's dead.
Yeah.
But back to the rule, right, Andy?
Yes.
What?
But by the way, in amateur golf, I bet you like a huge amount of amateur golf don't even know the rule. They don't even know that you can't press grass down, you can't improve what's behind you, that you can't hold branches out the way while while you're hitting your shot. It's at this level, obviously they clearly know the rule. But
I actually think it's one of the most abused rule in golf.
100%, yeah.
Yep. Whether people do it deliberately or they kind of half know the rule, or they're just walking behind their ball, or going to look for something, but they know exactly where they've just put their foot. Just that kind of thing that happens all the time. And I think the great thing about bringing this to light is everybody around the country on Sunday morning surely will be thinking a little bit more about what they do, because I do think the rules of golf, for some reason, in many ways, have become a little bit more lax, especially in amateur level over the last 10, 20 years, compared to what it was when we were young and you had old boys at the club shouting at you all the time. I think there's less people. I think it's a good thing for golf, this. Yeah,
I agree. I think there'll be... It's a big talking point, and I think a lot of people will be talking it. And I think there'll be a good few people who've been. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you weren't meant to do that. It's even little things like taking practice swings and hitting branches behind you, and you can't be doing that. All these leaves falling off the trees and branches breaking. And
I think the one you'll have seen pretty much 100 times in your life would be when somebody's in there in the fescue and they're taking a practice swing, maybe a foot this side of the ball. They're still taking away some of the fescue that might gather around the shaft as they hit their shot. Do you know what I mean? These things happen a bit when you're playing but when you're playing in big competition. He knows better. Well, I'm not defending him the slightest here. A lot of people will have improved a lie, not meaning it, a bunch of times in their career. Amateurs, pros, whatever. But this,
I find it very difficult to say that Bryson wasn't
aware
cheating.
Yeah,
I also don't think it's a coincidence that I get the counter argument as well. It's going to be long grass in the middle of nowhere, but there's not really anyone around them. If you've got a big gallery behind you there, you're not doing that. You're not even remotely risking any of that if there's a lot of guys behind him. The fact he's away, I don't know. I just don't think it's a coincidence.
He just knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly where he shouldn't be stepping.
I didn't like it when he was in there with Grant Moyer and he was having a proper argument. It just takes a 2-second look at the footage and he's like, he should have just gone, do you know what, I maybe shouldn't have stood there, you're right.
He's like a child that just got caught doing something naughty.
Yeah, and you just deny.
Yes.
Wasn't me.
Yep, I totally agree. It's like these footballers that do something and then the more they claim that they didn't do it, it's like, yeah, you done it. When it's
like
if that's a genuine sort of, even just a lapse of concentration, I think you'd have a totally different approach.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. I just think the way he reacted makes it worse.
Yes.
I think. I saw a couple of videos online. As you do with these things, people kind of go back and look at other people, and I've seen a couple. There was one of Dustin Johnson. It was it US Open he won, and it looks horrific. Like so where the camera angle is, there's a huge mound of grass. Can't see the ball, and then he goes in and takes 3 or 4 swipes. You can see the ball, and then he goes back in and gets it out. And there's another one with Wyndham Clark where it's the most random thing. He's doing 5 or 6 practice swings, and then he steps about 4 feet with one foot. Steps about 4 feet, reaches over, does a swipe, and then moves back to his original place.
That was at the US Open this year.
Horrendous. For me, that looks really bad. But the Dustin Johnson one, you've got, I don't know, a 3 foot high piece of grass that just disappears, and then he's just got an easy shot out, and it's like you're gonna know a lot. You know, people when they look back, a lot of these things might then suddenly appear. But yeah, I don't think it's the first time it's happened either.
There's
but
no
you've got to trust people.
Somebody's got to be the first one to start penalising for this.
Correct.
And I think if Bryson's been penalised, players going forward are going to be a bit more careful.
They have to. Yeah.
There was one I saw last night. Gary Player playing the last hole at Royal Lytham, and he hits it through the back of the green. He's on a wee path, and he takes a putter. He's going to have to play it left-handed, and he does like a practice swing with his putter left-handed, and he sort of scrapes away. It's terrible.
Yeah.
This is the last. I think he was winning that Open by a few, but it was clearly he was doing that deliberately.
A little Patrick Reed bunker play, that one.
Oh, horrendous! But yeah, it's good that Bryce has been being penalised, I think.
Yes. Yeah, they had to penalise him. There wasn't even a question.
Is this good or bad for brand Bryson? Because he sees himself as a brand, not just a person. You know, I'm bigger than golf, really.
Well, as a brand, he's in the highlights again when he's in the media, even though he finished, even without that penalty, where he finished maybe 10th or something. So yeah, he was in the limelight. Brand Bryson went down and went up at the same time, didn't it?
Do you ever get bored of him? I mean, before the tournament, it feels like we were talking about Bryson all week. Before the tournament, Faldo's blethering on about, you need to thread it through bunkers, like you got to go back 50 years and play the game of golf like I did. But it feels like Bryson's always in the. Bryson never takes it like a man. Even that one with Faldo, he should just laughed it off. But he has to make snidey comments about Faldo, and it's just, I don't know, just like he's not a man, is he? He's like a big baby.
I don't think it helps him that he doesn't really have that charisma to pull off the jokes and the funniness. You've got someone with a bit about them. I don't know. It's a lot funnier. Where I just feel like he rubs everyone up the wrong way.
Yeah,
but whatever he does, it just rubs people up the wrong way. I think he did well to kind of bring back a bit of his image, in the sense of he wasn't seen as big a dick as he was at the start, but he just keeps tripping. He just ends up being back there all the time. But
talking about winding folk up the wrong way, it seems like he might be winding Rory up the wrong way. Rory couldn't hold it back. And there's another thing. So Rory was asked about the Bryson thing, and as everybody knows, Rory said, basically said, I'm not particularly fond of the guy. I wouldn't stick up for him, and it's definitely a penalty, is what he said. And basically he said, it's the rule's not to do with cheating or not cheating, but improving your lie. And I hope it, I can't remember his wording. I hope it wasn't deliberate, is basically what he said. But he said everything that everybody's thinking without saying it out loud.
He also said we were all, there was a load of us players in the players box watching it live, and we all looked at each other as soon as it happened. We looked at each other and thought, oh no, that's not right. So he kind of made it sound as though, well, all the players feel as though that's wrong as well. I know, Pete was saying there was some of the interviews, probably quite a lot of the American guys maybe sticking up for him, but I think from what Rory was saying, there was a lot of the players, you do know as a player, we all saw the video and you look at it, you think, oh, that doesn't look great. And I don't think Rory held back, kind of saying, well, yeah, we were all sitting there watching it, and yeah, it didn't look good.
They just don't want to say anything publicly. That's all.
And Rory's at a stage now. We've spoken about before. He doesn't care, and I love that. I'm a bigger and bigger Rory fan every time I hear him speak. I just love the fact he doesn't care.
The rest of the players must love Rory for that. So, like, for example, if Scheffler gets asked about it, don't you say anything? Rory's already said it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rory's already blurted out what we're all thinking. So you can just go, no comment.
But there's a lot of Rory haters out there that, here he is.
But when you're outspoken, you're gonna get haters.
The only thing that I thought he probably shouldn't have said would be, I'm not particularly fond of him.
Yeah.
Which is quite a brash thing to say to, in an interview. You don't often hear them talk about other guys. I mean, Koepka's probably one of the only ones I can remember being on live TV,
rolling his eyes,
sort of just rolling his eyes and like, can't stand this guy kind of thing. There's not very often guys that will say that out in front of people.
Yeah, it surprised me because it's just, it's bringing on. It's like we all knew that Faldo and Seve didn't get on, but I don't remember anything ever being said publicly. No. But we knew it.
But this is the point. You're saying is it a bad thing for Bryson? We've already spent 20 minutes talking about Bryson here and not the tournament. But that's what brand Bryson's going to grow through this, isn't it?
I think the really kind of hardcore golfer doesn't. There's not many of them that will like Bryson, but I think he brings eyes to the game, and
he's changed the game.
Yeah, so many people that are coming into the game or maybe curious about it and watch little bits. He is brilliant. I mean, again, go back to all the YouTube stuff. He is good for golf. He is. Yeah, I personally don't like him.
Like him or lump him, he's changed the game. He's the first guy that really went into bulking up to hit it miles rather than just having the natural athleticism of a Greg Norman or a Jack Nicklaus. I mean, he went just small to shouch. He used one-length clubs. He's got these big elephant grips. He's got the weak grip because of that. He does things differently. He's got the everything he does is different. The vertical shaft when he's putting. He's changed the game, and there's not many guys you can say that about. No. They do it their own way, but they're not really changed everyone else's thinking about the game. I mean, it goes into the extremes then, and golf balls and the Epsom salts and all that, and puts a dot in them. But yeah, he's good for the game, but you're allowed to not like him.
See if there was the county championship, right? I'm being serious here, right? See if there was the county championship, and after the first round, Jimmy Brune is doing well, and then you heard Jimmy Brune was docked 2 shots for improving his lie at the 15th hole. Jimmy Brune, right, gets a terrible reputation. He is branded as a cheat. Nobody wants to play with him from then on in.
Correct.
But Bryson is going to get away with this, and he's fully in the public eye, and it's not cheating, but he got penalised for proving his lie. It's funny, yeah. Because that kind of thing at club level would be, oh God.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
Do the players think?
I think I lost a lot of respect from a lot of the players, but like you said, I think people just forget and move on. There's always the next week. There's always someone else, but there was a couple of things just quickly. Faldo was saying, the game's changed since Faldo played. Like, guys are bombing it. The rough's not that far, just bang it over the bunkers. So I don't really agree with a lot of. Actually, I do like what Faldo has to say a lot of time. There's a few things he says that I'm just like, come on, Nick. There's one other thing he said that I thought was quite cringy at one point. So I think it was Saturday. Francesco Molinari's come down the fairway. We've not seen him all day. And Faldo uses in his sort of sarcastic, and here's the most exciting golfer in the world. And I'm like, wow, that's coming from you.
I know.
Wow. That's amazing that you're trying to slag him for being boring. Like, you were the most boring golfer ever.
But Faldo was a bit like Bryson DeChambeau in his day, wasn't he? You remember him singing at Muirfield, I did it my way. He's always thought he was quite funny without being funny. He's awkward funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he's exactly like Bryson, actually, just can't hit the ball as far.
6'4".
He's a very Marmite character as well, though, isn't he,
Yeah.
Faldo?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what Rory said about being performative. I mean, Bryson being performative. That's what it all is with him. It's all performative. It's all for the crowds. It's all for his own ego and.
Yep.
But I was at the Open 2 years ago with the kids, and he was #1 best player as far as signing autographs, doing all that stuff. He's brilliant at that. He was brilliant. In fact, Michael got three autographs, kept on running down the line and getting another one.
Changes his hat every time.
I did see on this. So this is what I mean. So he kind of comes back into your hearts every now and then. So he threw a ball to a kid at the side. I mean, you guys got social. This is the only thing I've seen on social media. And like the wee boy missed it, and some bloke, grown up, sort of grabbed it and ran off. And he stood there and shouted at the bloke to come back and give it to the kid. That's the sort of stuff that he doesn't get enough praise for. He does an awful lot of good things. Like you said, if you went to the Open with your kids, right, who do you want to watch today? He's probably one of the top names in there, isn't he?
Doesn't make you a good guy when somebody's wanting the attention so badly like that. It's kind of like Mickelson, isn't it? Mickelson, when you watched him play golf, what a great guy. Brilliant with the crowds, brilliant with the kids. Always thumbs up, thumbs up. He would have had a YouTube channel if he was on the,
Oh, definitely.
He would have had a YouTube channel. And then you read his book and he's just a bit of an arsehole.
Do you know, I never used to stand Mickelson. I always used to think it's such a smug, laid on, false sort of persona, and then I saw him at the Ryder Cup quite on one of the practice days, actually really close up, and I thought he's brilliant. Like, he was there hours after everyone had gone, he was still signing autographs and everything, and then all this stuff recently that's come out, it's like, no, he is a dick. Like, no one could be that nice all the time. Like they can't be, but all these things come out and
just loves the attention.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the golf. Mr. Fox. I don't even need to go through what happened. I was a bit worried halfway through the round that it was going to be a dud with. What do you call him? Who was it? Cam Young shooting the lights out.
I don't think anyone was going to catch him at one point.
No, and I hate that.
I know.
I mean, I like Cam Young. I really like Cam Young.
Yeah, nothing against him.
But when somebody goes and does that, it's just like, oh, it's crap. But
Foxy was the guy on the leaderboard. If you're, because Fleetwood fell back a wee bit. He was the guy I wanted to do it, and he did it. It was phenomenal. And look, we've got to say how fast he plays is such a breath of fresh air, and I hope it gets enough media and enough where people at the club start playing a bit quicker. Look, he doesn't get bad talks because he's in and hit it before he goes. It's just, there's so much more, like between your man putting out in the 18th green and him hitting his putt was 22 seconds or something. I mean, that's so fast. Most people haven't remarked their ball yet, and he's already tapping it in from 10 feet to win the Open. Love it. And he's turned himself into... he's always been a good player, right? But he's turned himself into a proper world-class player, isn't he? Over the last...
He is. I mean,
and he's done it the hard
years.
way as well. I was hearing quite a few interviews with him, and he's kind of gone through some pretty harsh times. I think he was... you hear all these things when people kind of make it and do these things. You hear all these kind of stories about them. But, I mean, he was saying he was so close to giving up. So close to giving up. He was really struggling. He basically just calling it a day, and then he kind of had a little bit of a breakthrough and got to the next part and thought, well, I'll give it a bit longer. And I mean, it's brilliant now. You look back and...
Well, I remember playing against him in challenge tours and all that. We were both down in challenge tour that time before either of us made it up, and he was this big sort of farmer looking lad that came out, and everyone was going about how far he hits, and I'm like, okay, let's see. And then I mean, hit absolutely miles, but it was a bit wild. And I'm like, well, that's not going to last. That's just some farmer that's having a wee go at the golf. But then he just kept going, and then driver got straighter, and then it was a massive weapon rather than something that cost him 3 off a tee every now and then. He does it his own way. Really, it's brilliant to watch. He's never changed anything in his golf swing from the day I first saw him to now. I mean, there will be minute changes, but
and when you look at his golf swing from a golf swing coach's point of view,
you wouldn't want to teach him.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I saw it this morning in slow motion, and his shoulder turn. You know, you say most pros, I would have thought that absolutely everybody
110.
gets to like a 90-degree turn or more. Most much further past. His is like 60 degrees, and you think how from that position and his hands up high in front of him, how do you create power? Because if I went to that position, I mean, I would hit it like 100 yards.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like, he's got no, like, I was watching his hips as well, and I'm just like, I look sore. Like it looks really, really sore. It's incredible how he times that.
Strong as an ox, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And it's one of the things that kids could learn from that. You got to be strong now as well. Don't you? But yeah, it's just really impressive how he does it, and he hits the ball far from that position.
Yeah, I quite like it. Everyone will have their own opinion on this. Holmes, the commentator, and he was going on about somebody having a orthodox swing, and he said a phrase something like orthodox is trustworthy under the cost, and I get that. But then I also look at it in terms of like someone like a Foxy who's very much not orthodox, and I think, but he's not been. His moves are his moves. Like they've been refined by a coach maybe, but they're all his moves. So when it breaks down, he's going to feel it easier. Sometimes if you've got somebody that's been worked into orthodox, that's not natural to them. You would hope it becomes natural, but it's maybe harder to find it.
Well, Foxy
I quite like that in unorthodox people. I kind of feel like if Foxy goes off, I reckon he could find it quicker than if somebody that's been trained orthodox. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, Foxy swings orthodox for Foxy.
But that's what I mean. But he's never.
Yeah.
But if he was, yes,
it's closer to what his natural sort of swing is.
There's no way he's been overcoached. There's no way he's been overcoached. There's no way somebody's got him and said, "No, you can't turn like that. You got to do this," and work it out. And then it's a very rare thing for guys nowadays to come out with swings like that. I think more people are more orthodox.
He took up the game very late. He was 17 when he started golfing, which is really unusual nowadays. When you just talk about the Scottish girls and they're all like 12 and getting coached. But he started 17 and probably, I could imagine, not get very many lessons. I don't know the story, but it was a lesson in life. But
I don't think he's had many, you were saying.
I always think that, from a teaching point of view, if you got somebody that comes into you, like if you had Ryan Fox come to you before he made it proper, and he's hitting it well, but a few really bad shots, and he's got this really strong grip, weird back. Oh, the swing he does. I don't need to describe the swing. You know his swing. How do you coach that? Tough to coach that, isn't it?
I guess you work from impact back with something like that. I suppose like you should do with most people. But yeah, you'd have to see what the ball's doing first, and then work back the positions from there to see if there's anything causing it. Look, coaching isn't really that hard when you break it down, but as long as you're not trying to teach one swing and one swing to him. If you went into him and said, "Nah, you got to stand like this and put it in this position," you would hit it off the planet.
But if he's coming to you hitting a block slice or something with his setup and his grip and his backswing, I don't know what you do with that. I wouldn't know.
You'd manage.
Well, I wouldn't. It's your guy's job.
I think from my point of view, personal point of view, I mean, you always do still try and change the least you can with someone. And look at what's causing the problem. Like with someone like that, it's probably going to be club face, and then what do you do to try and control that? And I personally, I would never go into a lesson and go, that grip looks wrong, that looks wrong, we need to change this.
You need context, don't you? You need to know what he was doing when he was playing well to understand what he's doing now when he's not playing well, and how does he get better. You need context, don't you?
Yeah,
of course you do. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm getting out. I find it. Yeah, he's a very individual golfer. But back to the speed of play, right? It's refreshing because what's too fast and what's too slow?
Well, he's borderline for a lot of people and probably been too fast. If he'd missed that putt in 18, the people would go, "Oh, Jesus," take a little bit of time. No, I wouldn't, but there'd be a lot of people saying these sort of things. You've got to remember that a lot of these best players, Rory's quite fast, but he's phenomenally fast. I mean, I just hope that, because we've been battering on about slow play for years. I just hope a lot of people look at him and just go, do you know what, I might give that a blast. And I do it in my lessons sometimes. I give people, I'll go like 3, 2, 1, and then you got hit. Because I just see the head filling up with all these.
Of course it does. I mean, the last tee shot at Royal Birkdale was a tough tee shot. They hated it.
Unbelievably hard.
Yeah, so to stand on that tee shot with the lead in the Open Championship for very long, it's not a fun tee shot. Do you get in your processes? I mean, a slower pre-shot routine is fine as long as you're in the process and you're doing the same thing as you always do, I suppose. But yeah, the longer you take, the more my head would fill up with mince.
There's very little place you can hit it on 18. You've got to hit it left with a cut, but that's his natural shot, right? But I actually thought on the Saturday, his fairway bunker shot on 18, I think it was the Saturday, wasn't it, when he hit it at the fairway bunker, and everyone's giving it no chances reaching the green. That's sheer power. I think that's what the pros are phenomenal at these days, even compared to my day. I think they've all got way better. It's because they're stronger, but these shots are like, we're not sniffing the green, any of us, out of that bunker. He's got the X factor with a few shots, that's for sure.
I remember when he left Europe, I was like, oh, he's had a good year in Europe.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I wasn't convinced, but he's gone over to the States. He has played well, comfortably, keeping his playing privileges, doing well in a number of events, and here he is, major champion.
And he's coming from a family that, they're all successful. His mum played international sport. His dad was obviously a superstar in the All Blacks, and that's a proper superstar, World Cup winner, and all the rest. And for him to come in then and now put a trophy in the cabinet, that's probably better, right?
I think he was good at a lot of sports as well. I think he had to pick and had to choose what one to go for. I think he was good at a few different ones.
But you get that with quite a few of the top golfers. Everyone else is very good at tennis, cricket as well. You get that with sporty people, right? But he's come from a sporting family, and excellence is expected. But it's not expected, but it's just natural in your household to have excellence. I think that's quite a big thing. You always talk about it with Tiger's kid. It's just natural to be good in that house, isn't it? So it wouldn't be a super surprise.
Aye, when your dad's playing world champion All Blacks, and you're like, yeah, I want to get in the county golf team. That's my dream. He's not going to be that impressed with that.
No. It brings its own pressures. It brings completely different world of pressures to the next kid. But I think just the mentality behind it, I think he'd be like, I won the county championship. That's nothing. I need to get up to the next one, up to the next, up to the next one. So.
I think sometimes that's even more impressive when you've got someone that does something incredible off their own bat. They've got no one around them helping them. They've got no kind of family members. I think it's even more impressive for guys like that. I mean, I always think of the Korda family. I mean, I think they've got a cousin that's brother that's a world class tennis player. I think their dad was an exceptional some Olympic athlete. You've got the girls, like you say, you grow up around that, and it must be a bit easier having all of that. You could suppose you could kind of contradict yourself and say, well, do you have extra pressure? But yeah, it's not a surprise. I think when you've done it all off your own, it's probably even more impressive. But
Pressure's the only things you put on yourself, really.
The only thing I would say, I wish the rules officials would. I mean, we've spoken about it loads of times, and it's not probably a conversation for today. But with him being so fast, that's what I want to see being penalised. Not him being fast, but it's great. Bryson got done for what he got done for, because, as I said, I think he should have. But they're not doing what they maybe should do for the guys that are that slow. Like, penalise them.
Yeah.
Well,
just get on with it and do it.
Yeah, I could. When I watch it, I hope that the kids are watching it thinking, right, I'm going to try and be a bit faster because that's cooler. But I don't know if they will, because he's not the kind of guy that's going to be the leaderboard every week. We need. When Rory's, I was up at the.
But he is. He's on the leaderboards a lot more than you give him credit for.
But we don't know.
Was it Cam Young he beat as well when he won in Canada?
Oh God,
it was, wasn't it? It was Cam Young he beat there in the playoff, I think. So Cam's not his best pal.
But it's like back to the slow play thing. I'm not sure we notice it as much when it's on telly. We notice it on the last putt there, because he's like,
God,
you're
right,
he's hitting it already.
Yeah.
But sometimes a slow player can look just as fast, because all you're seeing is when they're just about to take away and hit putt. But hopefully it's talked about enough that, I back to the girls' competitions and the junior competitions I've been at. Honestly, I mean, the first up at 10, it was 5 hours between rounds. It's 36 holes in the one day, 5 hours between rounds, and they're prepping the kids, saying, look, it's going to be slow out there. We've had problems. We haven't had the kids finish in time. You have to have your packed lunches ready to go straight away. Yeah. And I think, God, 10. The girls are playing a course at 5,500 yards or something, and the boys are 6'2" or something. It's not long. And they're taking 5 hours. They didn't. They took about 4.5. They got about half an hour at lunch, but 4.5 hours even. But when I went out to watch a few holes, it's like, oh my God, this is why.
It's painful. It's painful to watch.
But some of the girls and boys, but they're not. They're coming off the green. They're getting to the tee, and then they're faffing about with their books, whatever it is. They're faffing about doing the scorecards. The first person is not going on the tee. Why is the first person not just taking the head cover?
Get on with it.
You do your card after that.
Exactly.
It's like they need to be told this stuff. And then they've got all their pre-shot routines and processes that they go through. They've obviously been taught, go through your pre-shot routine, all this stuff.
But this is a coach's fault. This is a coach's fault. I mean, I've been doing a lot of playing lessons, and one kid only had one tee in his pocket. So when it broke, he had to go fishing about, and I'm like, well, put 10 tees in your pocket, for Christ's sake. And then I notice it an awful lot, even walking up to greens, that they'll put the bags down, and this is kids and amateurs, and then eventually get in the green, then they start doing their work. And I'm like, I mean, I could already have told you the read of that putt within maybe 2 or 3 inches 30 yards ago. Do you know what I mean? I'll just be finalising it once I'm on the green. But they're taught to then, right, get in the green, then I'm going to pace it out, then I'm going to look from this angle, then I'm going to look from this angle, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. I'm like, Christ. That's the sort of stuff they're not ready to play. And half of that stuff, again, it could be done while old Jimmy's hitting a putt over there. You should be ready to go.
Absolutely. I mean, I even saw situations where, like, somebody would leave their bag next to the tee because they're on they've all got electric trolleys now. But electric trolleys, and they'd be over at the bunker at the other side of the green. So they take their sand wedge and they'll be over playing their bunker shot. Then they duff their bunker shot out. Then they need their putter. So they wander slowly back to their bag to get their freaking putter. And I want to scream at them. Yeah. And I'm actually looking at the parents, getting annoyed at the parents because I'm like, why are you telling your kid to hurry up here? Because I find it really difficult. I mean, my own daughter can be slow, faffy sometimes, and I tell her.
Yeah, but I think that's not bad. Just tell them. I mean, look, we got shouted at by the old boys at the club when we were young, didn't we? And it only took one shouting. Hey, son. I was like, we'll not do that again then. It's not bullying. It's just tell them how it is.
Problem is, half-year-old guys at the clubs are just as bad now. That's the problem.
Today, people are so scared to tell somebody off. Just tell them. Like, they'll take it.
They'll get enough for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Maybe even the whole day.
I was sent to sit in the car.
I still think part of the problem is they're watching golf so frequently and seeing this. And like I heard it. I watched a video of Monty the other day, who I wouldn't say was notoriously quick himself, but he was going on about whoever won something years ago, and as a 3-ball and shot 14 under, and they were around in 3.5 hours, and this week, they were 5 hours 40 for a 2-ball, and until they do something, it's going to keep happening, and then the more people see that happening, the more that they think that they should be doing it, and it's just it's a mess. It's brutal.
I just don't know if it'll ever be fixed if you focus on the top end, because those guys they've learned the game this way. Played junior events, it's all been slow as shit forever. I don't know if they're ever going to change. I don't know if the kids, but I think I feel like us to start at the bottom. I think we need to get them playing quicker.
But you got to tell them. I remember one of the first years in tour. Literally, it was my first year in tour, and I thought, I need to act a bit better. I need to be a bit more professional, Peter. And I got there, and I remember one tournament specifically. It was Parrymore referees called us over after it, and he says, "Look, you were pretty much borderline on the time it took you to hit that putt." And I was like, what? Sorry. That was it. That was enough said to me. And then I realised, Jesus, right, okay, this is just not you. So just get back into your speed of play. It just takes one. It just takes a little. Sometimes it's a kind word. Sometimes it's a bark from the member. Sometimes it's coming from your parents all the time is not always the easiest one. But the coach needs to get involved, I think. If they see them on the golf course.
Yeah, so somebody else sees them. But the other thing is, I don't understand it. I feel that sometimes it's like being as personal as awareness of other people. Like if I'm walking down the street and you're holding up somebody walking behind you, do you not want to let them past?
You would think so, but
I'm very aware of that.
I think the difficult thing is though, when you grow up, you realise that a huge amount of people are idiots. Yeah. Like it is. I mean, you see people the way some people drive cars. Yeah. No spatial awareness whatsoever. Like absolutely none. And this is the people that you're dealing with. They're idiots.
Well, they need to be punished then, because they need to just be told and punished and stuff.
They need to do something because it's brutal. I mean, how many times have you walked off this year on a golf course at Ladybank? I'm just at Ladybank. Ladybank's not the only issue, but I've walked off at double digits this year. I've walked off because it's taken far too long.
Well, do you know what? We were. That was the day we played, Andy.
That was another time I walked off. Yes.
Right. So the day we played, there was a couple of young kids that went out in front of us. They won't listen to this.
Yeah.
Right. Very young, good golfers, good swings. Anyway, they get in there and they're out there with their parents, and but they're looking for the balls in the rough, and then looking for the balls in the rough, and then over there, and then looking for and we're on the tee waiting to hit. And I don't blame the kids. Not for 1 millisecond am I blaming these kids for not letting us through, because I've got 2 parents there that should be telling them, like, this guy's, just step aside. But then if the parents, they obviously didn't know much about, or I gathered when they finally let us through. I don't think the parents really knew anything about golf. So I don't really blame the parents, and I don't blame the kids, but I blame somebody, because these kids are already decent golfers, and they had golf swings that looked like
they were all right. Yeah,
somebody at some point, even if they just played with somebody else, they would know. If they played with somebody else, that they've got, stand aside, we'll let these folk through. But you can see other people in the group behind us. I think there's a couple of guys getting a bit grumpy, and you can see them going, kids in the golf course. So that kind of chat, I could feel that coming.
Well, we even heard something, didn't we? There was a couple of wee comments.
But it's not the kids' fault. And I don't really blame the parents, because they didn't know. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's got to say something at some point.
Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you just go up to them and say, look, guys, you're brilliant, you're playing golf, but go and just play a bit quicker, because you're holding everybody up here.
Yeah, you're probably right. It wasn't so much playing quicker.
Nobody ever says, though. It's the same at the club. Nobody ever said. Don't be sitting there.
I think you've got to play with them to say it, don't you? You've got to, or I'm not teaching them. I've got to play. I wouldn't really have a go at somebody that's playing in another group.
But old Willie that plays in the middle every Saturday in his group every week falls. Everybody knows that Willie's the slow player.
Yeah.
But nobody ever says to Willie. Not even the council. Nobody, the pro. Nobody ever says to Willie. And then he holds it up every week, and every week everybody gets annoyed at Willie. And it's like, why do we not have any balls to like?
Well, I know a couple of guys that play at a specific club that have been told, and they've been told by the club, they've been left out of team matches because they're so slow, and they just don't care. They plain and simply do not care, and they have been told.
All right.
And one of them, I think, was actually suspended for a while because they were that bad and just basically that arrogant about it, and they did suspend them. But some people, you're just. I don't know what the answer is, but I think that's the minority. I think you'll get the odd guys like that. I think a lot of people, it's a lack of education. It's a lack of knowing to let people through. Like the 4-ball I had in front of me a wee while ago, I was playing on my own, and I can't remember if I said or not, but I was on the tee with them, didn't even look up, and they walked off, and when they got to about 30 yards from the tee, one of the boys actually turned around. I heard him. He turned and goes, well, he can just stand and watch, can't he? And I'm like, oh my God, there's no one else on the golf course right now, let us through. But anyway, one of the guys I recognised, and the other night I was playing, and we got let through by him and another guy. And I guarantee you, if he wasn't playing with another guy, he would never let us through. So I think, I don't know this, but the other guy that was playing clearly said, we need to let this guy through. Yeah. So hopefully, let's just say the Muppet, hopefully in the future he's going to look now and think, oh well, actually there's people behind us, we need to let them through.
Yeah, hopefully that's all it took.
All it takes. For me, it's a lack of education. Same with stupid things like raking bunkers and pitch marks, and it's golf clubs need to make sure that members know this stuff. Maybe they are. I don't know if they do send this stuff out, but they need to let members know.
The thing is though, like, I probably notice it more when you're playing a medal at the club, but like, you could have 95% of the players at the club playing perfectly fast enough. If they were allowed to play without the slow ones, it'd be a 3.5 hour round simply. But it just takes two or three guys that just play a little bit slower. 2 or 3 guys falling a hole behind means that the first group of the
it's the same at any level of golf. Yeah, and then the whole field backs up.
So they need to be told. Yeah, you're
but
right.
At least brilliant Foxy won it, and it's brilliant that we're bringing it to the well, it's not brilliant because we're bored of talking about it for year after year, but the speed of play is a big thing. I actually, back to Foxy quickly, because his golf was phenomenal. I loved on 16, the par 3, 16? Yeah, 16. He got that bad break into the bunker, chipped out, that's where he won the Open, where he had to chip out backwards, and he just got up and down. I thought that was it. That was the moment I thought he's going to go and do this, because you kind of knew he was going to get up at 2.7. I know he didn't, because he hit a 2 iron 300, but that was phenomenal to have that up and down.
I definitely think he thought he missed the putt on 18 as well. Did you see it go in?
No, I didn't.
He definitely thought he missed that. You could tell by his reaction, and it actually took a really funny little movement back to the hole. I definitely think that was missing. His heart sunk.
He said he couldn't feel the putter.
Yeah,
He was that nervous.
It's amazing though how that muscle memory must just kick in there, because he didn't look like it. you know, he didn't look like he couldn't feel his hands. He didn't look like he was shaking the way that he was saying. It's amazing how you just at that level. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be able to take the club back. Yeah. Physically, would not be able to move that club. I think
you'd look a bit weird. If
I just loved.
I'd still be there now.
I loved it when he held the winning putt. It was a roar. He roared, rather than other people are like, "Oh, thank God," or you know, it's like I did it. Whereas he's like, and whatever.
You always want the winner of the tournament to birdie the last to win. That's the best way to win a tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Birdied 4 at last 6, didn't he? 5 at last.
4 or 6. 17 could have been.
I think Cam Young on the practice range as well. I saw a video of him when the crowd did cheer and sort of the disappointment. But he's probably saying to everyone there, he goes, "Nah, I know it's not enough. I know it's not enough." Yeah, he's 100% thinking he's getting to play a playoff there. That must be
by that point. Yeah.
Yeah, that must be absolutely
gutting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of the golf season. That's
it. See you next year.
It's all over.
Yeah. Get the mats out again.
The countdown to April.
Does it feel like that? I hate that.
It's horrible. It's not right. They need to stretch these out.
We're halfway through and we're all over with the majors. The European Tours in Denmark, PGA Tours 3M Open.
Yeah, and there's no Ryder Cup.
No Ryder Cup.
It's all over.
There's a FedEx Cup, which Rory doesn't even care about, he says.
Did you see his interview about his future status on the tour? Did you see that?
Yeah,
no. He just seems a very...
I think he's just disillusioned with the whole PGA Tour thing.
Very disillusioned.
After everything that's happened. But, you know, that is what it is. I think the changes the PGA Tour have made are positive, although probably no different. It's like, okay, this year they were called signature events. Next year they're just a different tour. You know, what's the difference? The other players aren't getting in anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. I think that'll do. That's quite a long podcast.
Do you think Scotty will win again this year?
Scotty, yeah.
Scotty Scheffler should have. If he putted like anybody else in the field, he won it by 5.
Crazy.
So, yes.
This is going to be one of his bad years where he only wins 3 or 4 times. Do you think? Has he won?
Yeah,
How many wins? He 2.
Well, I was trying to work that out in my head. 2.
2 maybe. No majors. Major winners this year, a bit odd. You know.
I can't remember who won.
Well, Rory won. Aaron Rai, Foxy, and Wyndham Clark. We've been so used to
pub quiz in 3 years' time. I'll not know that.
No, yeah. Do they not do the Grand Slam of golf anymore, where all the major winners play together?
I think that was just fun.
Hawaii.
Was that just? I remember Sorenstam playing in it for some reason one year.
Yeah, rubbish.
I don't think I'd rock up to watch that this year.
I think in those days it was interesting just because there was less golf on the TV. Now it's like, should we just end this podcast? You keep making it going on. Aye.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.